Yeah. Baby girl, you're so damn fine, though. Wanna know if I can hit it from behind, though. I'm sipping on you like some fine wine, though. When it's over, I press rewind, though. Talking bands, I got it. Benjamins in my pocket. I traded my truth for some robins, and he's playing Batman. Freddy's gonna rob him. Yeah. I got the Glock in my Aubree. 17 shots, no 38. Yeah, I got the Glock in my Aubree. 17 shots, no 30. Yeah, she's fine. Wondering will she be mine? Walk past, I press rewind. See that ass one more time. And I got this soda. Women, boys, they know it. Fast money don't slow, but no one can control. Yeah, and I got this soda. Women, boys, they know it. Yeah, fast money don't slow, but no one can control. She's got class and style, street knowledge by the pound, yeah. Baby never act wild, very low key on the profile. Catching feelings isn't all. Let me show you how it goes. Loves the word, spins the vibe.
What up, friends? So, sit in my bed, got my Pikachu, got my little notebook to talk about the things about the competition, and hopefully I kind of wrote it down, so hopefully I didn't forget anything. But let's get started. So, before I wanted to talk about the meet, I wanted to just kind of talk about the people that I've met there at the competition. First person that I want to talk about is Noel Arevalo. I met her at the competition. It was during weigh-ins.
Hi, Noel Arevalo Fitness, YouTube. Follow me, powerlifting, health and fitness. On the hashtags. And be yourself. And look at her, like she has her mom here. I support. Say hello. Say hello. Hi, how are you?
But definitely want to give a shout out to her. I know that I've been following her on her bikini journey like a couple years back on Instagram, and then when I found out that she was switching with powerlifting, I was so excited. So I was really nervous meeting her, but she was such a sweetheart. And then entire meet, I'm just in awe of how awesome she was. There is Criselda. She is one of the first people that I followed on Instagram, following my whole powerlifting journey. So when I finally got to meet her in person, I was pretty shocked. It was kind of cool to know that like she was also friends with Aubrey, which I'll talk about Aubrey a little bit in a second. But she's friends with her along with the other California friends that I follow on Instagram. And I got to hang out with her, eat some In-N-Out with her, thanking Sample Lifts, or also known as Ham Like Sam. Ham Like Sam? Sam Like Ham. Ham Like Sam. Yes. If it wasn't for him, I would have continued on cramping. Didn't get bananas after weigh-ins for me, so I was just a mess. Wanted to thank him for giving me all of the awesome bench lift-offs. Got my boy Iron_Tyler, and there's also Chris_Physical Culture that I've been hanging out with a lot during the time of my Vegas trip. Really can't thank him enough. I know originally I was planning on hanging out with Tyler, with Aubrey, but then that's how I also met Chris, which is such a cool guy. Both of them are awesome dudes. So now I wanted to talk about the person that I've been talking about this entire video, and that is Aubrey, aka Hypnotic. I had such a blast with her. I've been following Hypnotic, Aubrey, for a couple years now, when she started doing her cosplaying, and then she switched over to powerlifting, and then when I switched to powerlifting, she followed me, and I was pretty starstruck at that point when she followed me. I was so excited. When she contacted me a couple of weeks ago asking me if I was doing IPLWorlds, I said yeah, like I'm doing it, and she asked me if she wanted to room up with me. So I was like, hell yeah, let's room up together, of course. Like I was totally down. And I remember being on the plane ride heading up to Vegas, and I was like, I don't know this girl. I follow her on Instagram, but like, what if she's a rapist? What if she decides to steal my stuff, right? Thank goodness she didn't become like that. She ended up becoming one of my best friends for life, which I've never ever expected to have come out of it. She's been so great to me. So let's talk about the meet. I wanted to this meet because, well, one, besides meeting all my friends, new friends from IG, or having fun and just competing, I knew that I wanted to celebrate my 1 year of lifting. I started in June and then wanted to this meet. Yes, got qualified for Worlds, so I just want to do it for the 1 year, you know? So let's talk about the waterload water cut. During the time, if you've been following my IG, I got my period. So that was crappy because all of my water retention was still stuck on me and it just wouldn't get off of me. So my last competition, I was able to drop 10 pounds in water weight. And as I was going through my waterload water cut, it was so bad. The water would just not get off of me. I think one thing that I want to do the next time around, if I were to have a period, and so sorry about the boys who's been watching this video. Yeah, ew, gross, period. I don't want to talk about that girly stuff, but I'm gonna be upfront with it. I got my period, girl stuff, girl life, can't help it. So if I were to change things around, if I were to have my period next time, I would say overload the water a lot. I went up to 2.5 gallons of water this time around. Normally I kind of drink a gallon and a half every day. So upcoming, if I were to do it again, I probably bump it up to 3 gallons or 3.5 gallons to make it where I feel like I'm drowning in it. I still followed carb and salt loading, and then I cut it off. Got through my magnesium citrate, which is the first time ever done. That was explosive. Now let's talk about how it was after weigh-ins. Now I was hanging out with Aubrey and I was hanging out with Criselda. They didn't really have to make weight, so going into after weigh-ins, got my Pedialyte, got through that, got my salted chips to eat to make sure that I'm retaining the water instead of peeing everything out. One thing that I regret not doing is that I should have ate or carb loaded right after weigh-ins. I mean, besides the chips and stuff like that. I am not blaming them by no means. I was hanging out with them, being around them. But one thing is that I did have to drop the 10 pounds that I needed to regain those 10 pounds. I know for them, they didn't really need to cut that much. So that was one mistake that I've made that I should have kept notice of, which resulted in going into the day of the meet. Because I didn't eat enough or carb enough the day before, you know, after weigh-ins, I weighed in at 151. While as I walk around 156-ish, that led into a weird meet. I also started cramping up like a crap load, and I feel bad for Aubrey, who was like rooming up with me at the time. Like, I'm twitching every single second all night, twitching and just cramping up, and I look like I have a seizure during the night because the amount of cramps I had all over my body. I was so tight in the morning of. Tried to rumble roll everything out during the meet, but even then I knew that my body was super tight enough to not be able to roll it out in time for the competition. So I'm gonna try my hardest to not sound like I'm complaining or give excuses or anything like that. Like, I'm trying to keep it positive, but I'm just gonna say it how it is and how it all went and everything that went through my head. So let's talk about my first squat, my first attempt. So keep in mind, just like if you followed me on my last video, I wanted to keep all my attempts the same as my main meet. So first attempt 275. I basically went from warm-ups, so last warm-up was 265 straight to the platform, and that was definitely my fault. I warmed up a little bit late. I was too shy just to cut in on everybody. I didn't know where they were in the line. What if they started first? I want to give them a chance, but I should have taken that initiative to just go ahead and just steal a squat rack in the backup in the warm-up. So thank you, Tyler, who was there for me, saying like, dude, get your butt in the warm-ups. Straight to the platform. Got so surprised. I was shaking. I was so nervous, and therefore I cut depth. I know I did. I shouldn't have done that, but I was so nervous that I was like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, like I'm out on the platform already going into it. I should have stayed calm, and that resulted in that first squat. Now, leading to the second squat, I knew 275 is easy. I ended up with 292 in the last meet. 275, I can normally rep it out for like 5 reps a set or whatever. So I went up to 286. I went underneath the bar, and this is where I was kind of nervous because this is what I felt during my warm-ups in the back. I was misgrooving a lot in my warm-ups. I was misgrooving. I knew that was resulted from the cramping that I've had during that morning. I knew that my right butt cheek was really, really tight. So was my calves during the time. And when I got called on the second attempt for dipping, for the bar not going all the way up, because it went from up, and then when I misgrooved, it just dipped a little bit. That technicality. Third attempt, and it kills me. It really, really does kill me because I normally don't cup depth unless I'm really tight during my warm-ups or during my training, like my mobility is in there. But generally, I do like to go below parallel. So on the third attempt, they were saying that I hit parallel, like that it wasn't enough to give me the go because it was Worlds. Everything's a lot stricter, and yeah, I bombed out of squats. I was devastated. I was crying all the way in the back. Aubrey, Tyler, Sam was back there trying to calm me down. But I just never expected to bomb out. Squats is one of my favorite things to do, and I always tend to go below parallel, but then at that meet, whatever happened, it just got me nervous. It got me super nervous. I just never expected to bomb out at all. And it happened. And at this point, like, what do I do? I mean, yeah, I could just continue on the whole competition, but just knowing that I can't place, like, I am basically out of the meet. Like, it was such a crappy feeling. I ran across Swolisi, Amber, and it just reminded me that she bombed out last year, and now going into this Worlds competition a year later for her, she became world champion. So if it wasn't for me just to know that I got to experience that with someone, I don't know what I've done. And I'm so glad. Like, Amber is such an amazing girl, and I'm so happy that she was there to experience everything, and she was there to calming me down as I was freaking out the fact that I bombed out. But I'm glad that I'm not the only one who would experience this. So let's talk about benching. Now, my benching hasn't been the greatest lately in far as training wise. I couldn't for whatever reason I couldn't go back to my technique. Last thing was I hit a PR 175 in December, and ever since then I haven't been able to hit over 145 or 150. But during the time that I was benching everything clicked for me. That it just felt so good just to get back into that benching mindset. Now, can't thank enough for Sam being an awesome gentleman to be able to give me a lift off. Awesome spotter, or awesome lift off for. So thank you for him. Doing my opener at 143 like my last meet in May. I did 137 just to build up my confidence. 137 flew up. Second attempt was 143, which is my opener from last meet. That was clean. That was super clean. And I was gonna bump it up to about like I think it was 149. But I was like, you know what, thinking, whatever. I'm just gonna bump it up to 155. As soon as it came down, I felt that my shoulder just popped. Like it just popped out of socket. And oh my God, it was painful. And I had a feeling this was gonna happen. As some of you all know, I have scoliosis. And I have troubles like with benching a lot of times. Did I ever tell y'all that I have scoliosis? I probably didn't. But anyways, if this is the first time that I told you guys, well, I got scoliosis. So as soon as it popped out, I was in pain. And as soon as the spotters took off the weight off of me, I can feel my whole back, like my whole lower back, crack. I'm like, crap, I'm in trouble. What am I doing with deadlifts? After the benching situation, started rolling out as much as I can, try to feel my shoulders again, started rolling my lower back, so things are feeling good. And I'm like thinking like, oh, thank goodness that we don't have to use our shoulders that much for deadlifts. So going to deadlifts, 336 was my opener. 336 went up to 350 something, 359, 358, something like that. That flew up. Now this is the moment that I could have done 363 just like I did with my last meet. And I said, whatever, screw it, let's do 369 or whatever it was. And I was like, if I don't get it, whatever, fine. If I get it, that's cool, PR. But the thing that I regret is that I wish I should have been more motivated, more passionate about lifting that third attempt. I feel like I used to be wired when I did 363 in my last meet, but this time I was a calm lifter, which is weird because normally I'm kind of not a calm lifter when I deadlift. But going to the 369, I did nose twerk for the first time. That was pretty cool, but didn't realize that the nose twerk died down or faded by the time that I did all my rituals that took forever. So the bar on the deadlift, I think out of anything, I kind of regret the number one thing was probably, I mean, besides the squats, was probably my third attempt on deadlifts. I really wish that I stuck with it. I regret not having patience with it. While y'all know that with sumo you have to have patience, for whatever reason I just gave up so easily, and I shouldn't have done that. I think I'm so used to, I mean, in the past couple of weeks I've been trying to not use so much of my energy. I'm not trying to max out as much as I can before for a meet, so I tend to give up on the last couple of reps, and that's what I did at that third attempt. I was so upset because I saved all my energy for the past couple of weeks just so I can specifically max out on deads, and the fact that I didn't do that and that one time destroyed me, because deadlifts is my favorite generally. So there you guys have it. I hope this video was not so long. I'm trying to keep it short, try to talk fast as much as I can, but that has been my 2016 recap of Worlds. So thank you for those who have been following me, have been following my whole live stream as my competition. Give a huge shout out to like Archie, to Barbaeling, to Brian, Bshimm, and the whole A7 family. Y'all have been with me. Y'all have been amazing to me, and I just can't thank you guys enough.